everybody. Welcome to Dog Talk. It is Michael J. Solar here with another episode of Dog Talk. And I want to just welcome everybody to the show. This is going to be a really cool and interesting show because we're going to be talking about a few things that we learned all week long. And it's really a neat thing. So if you know me, have worked around me, or been around Blue Line Canine in any which way, or if you just watched the show, you probably really started to learn that I'm really interested in learning a lot of information. Like, I'm not just one of those guys that just takes things for granted. I really like to dig down and dig into, a ton of information that's going on. I mean, you really just can't accept things, right? So tonight's episode is really going to be all about grooming and things like that that I learned this week. So, but before I get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Nicole Kraus for the M&M Christmas tree with the Blue Line Canine name and logo on. I'm going to show you everybody that's watching. Huge shout out. This means so much to receive gifts during the season. It's really just a really rewarding thing to open your mail. And I'm sure everybody can agree that you get a little gift in the mail besides the gifts that Amazon keeps delivering after you swipe your credit card, right? So, it's one of those things. So tonight, like I said, I want to talk about grooming. So if you guys are interested in learning and talking about grooming, make sure you get interested and highlight yourself in the comment section. This is going to be pretty cool. So I have to go. We do have some all detailed. You can't see it with the notes, I guess, with the lighting. See if it focus. Lots of things to go over today. So I'm just showing you what I have written down here. But history of grooming. Now, this is pretty neat because, again, as I said, I don't like to just take things for granted. Now, since we moved into Boag Pet Resort, and as you guys know, I'm really big in education. I've had the honor and privilege of working with some phenomenal dog groomers. And, what's really neat about working with them was it wasn't just about, cutting the dog's hair, clipping the nails, or any of that kind of stuff. They really got down and dirty into things that really interest me. One of which is like historical facts. Like, I love history. I mean, truly love history. I believe history is one of those things that you really need to understand and learn because you have to grasp it to understand what the future is going to bring. I mean, you can prevent it, you can educate it, you can do so much by learning things in the past. So the history of grooming, and this is pretty neat, in the earliest historical records of actual dog groomers as a job or profession comes from Middle Ages, where full-time professional kennel boys worked in feudal estates in Europe, maintaining hunting and herding stock for noble lords. They would brush their teeth. They had first grooming tools were brushes, combs, and scissors, and they took care of the dogs who served the real purpose and benefit of that entire state. All right, so this is what's really neat. The dog grooming really evolved in the 20th century. Okay, so I mean, that's a big difference, right? So now we're in the 20th century, and the advancements in the tools like electric clippers, more recently than moving into more reliable cordless battery-powered clippers. This is what's given many groomers the flexibility, creativity, and advancements prior to anybody else. I mean, so if you think about groomers prior to all of these advancements, were really stuck with essentially scissors and not the greatest tools in the world. So now with the grooming technology is advancing and their skill set getting better, they're able to provide even more care. And the grooming art evolved in particular for the poodles in the 16th century. France is when it emerged. So this is information on stuff that most of you probably might not find, interesting, but to me it is because, and the reason why I find it to be really interesting is not so much of the facts of just knowing that grooming has been around for a long time or knowing that groomers with new technology have been able to do better. But the fact of the matter is that with the groomers that we have here at the Boag Pet Resort, we were able that it wasn't that they just went downstairs and cut your dog's hair. It wasn't that they just bathed your dog. They knew this information and they were able to pass it along. And I think, to me, and my belief is that when you know the history of your career, that really goes to show the emotional connection and the development into your career path. All right. So this is not somebody who just came in to get money and cut your dog's hair. This is somebody that truly does care and wanted to know more and build into it and took it as a passion. So I really found it to be interesting. So what I think of this, if you take this away, is not that saying that, the groomers here are better than everybody else, but it's the point of saying that if you're looking for a groomer, this might be information that you might want to ask them to see how involved they really are into their career path. Find out, do they really care about your dog? Do they really care about it? Or are they just in it for the money and they're going to give, a quick, crappy haircut? This is important information. You get to talk to your groomers. You get to ask them information. And when they know the history and they know the backing of it, it's vital because it shows you that they care more about their career, your dog, and everything of it. Again, somebody that took the time to learn this information and then teach me this information, and now that I'm passing it on to you, is really a neat thing to know because again, it separates them from anybody else. So if you're looking for a groomer, start to ask them questions about the history of grooming and what their favorite dog to groom and why is it a certain way and things like that, because that's what we're about to go into. So this is something that I thought was interesting, is that the show poodle cut is called the Continental Clip. Okay, so I didn't even know that there was actual names for this. Now, I mind you, I've been in the pet industry for quite some time, but again, the pet industry is a lot bigger than most people think. The pet industry is huge. It is a huge industry up in itself. I mean, training probably has upwards of 20 to 50 different categories in its own, from AKC trials to Mito ring, French ring, PSA, and so on and so forth. You're thinking about so many different things that you can get into: behavior rehabilitation, group classes, reward based, so on and so forth. So then when you think of grooming, you're in a whole different ball game too, because then you have show dog grooming, pet grooming, and stuff like that. So to really put it down and think about this. So this is what blew my mind, right? So I'm going back into the poodle. So this is what I thought was really cool, because as a person in the pet industry coming across poodles, I never realized that the poodle's haircut has a science-based and history to their haircuts. Like, their haircuts are the way they are for reasons. It wasn't just make funny looking styles. So here are some of the neat information. Is the originally formed for safety and identification when duck retrieving. So poodles, which I did know that are one of the top dogs for hunting. What I didn't know is that the haircuts were designed for it. So it was originally formed for the safety and identification when duck retrieving. All right. So their haircut has a huge purpose here, and it's for their safety. Okay. The cut has been altered and changed many times over the years. The big mane around their chest. Okay. So the big mane around their chest, like the big puff that everybody sees, many times has changed over the years. That is called the jacket, and it's placed that way to protect their heart and lungs from the cold water. So this is pretty neat thing to think about, that the reason why the groomers never remove that hair and they keep it nice, clean, fluffed up is because that's going to protect them from cold water, cold air, and so on and so forth. So that's a really important factor, and they call that the jacket. All right. Then the fur around their hips, all right, is called rosettes. Am I saying that right? Rosettes? I think it's called, I think I'm saying it right. Rosettes. And that is to protect the dog's kidneys. Now, what we're talking about is, if you look at a poodle, and I'm going to show you some pictures in a little bit, but if you look at a poodle, so you have like the big puffy chest area, then on their rear, they have like, it looks like somebody put like two little fluffs, or didn't they left the trim around the hips and the butt area, like they had like two little fluffs. That is what they're calling the rosettes, and that is to protect the dog's kidneys. Okay. Then when you get to the legs, they're called the bracelets, and this helps protect the dog's joints. So when you're looking at the way the legs are left, like, so most of the leg is shaved, and then there's certain areas that have the puffs of hair. It's protecting their joints. The fur on the tail is called the pom-pom, and that's used to be able to see the dog from a distance. So that's pretty neat when you think about hunting dogs and they're sending them out distances to retrieve them. So I think that's pretty cool to really think about. And then the fluffy hair on the head is called a top knot, and this is tied up into different colored ribbons for hunters to identify them easily. So this is really all right. So these are a couple of things that let me show you a picture, give you guys an idea here. The ones that are listening on the audio, I do apologize you can't see it, but what I'm doing right now is for everybody watching live videography. I just have a picture I'm showing in the camera. You can see what the poodle looks like, and you can see the way the hair is puffed on the head, the chest, the hip region, tail, and then the legs, the lower legs where the joints are. So what's really nice about this is that, like I explained, that there was a real science behind it and history. And I'm going to show you the picture, just the front, just so you can get a clear vision of it. See if I can focus that in. There you go. And you can see it. Now, one of the things that we always looked at was, European areas, they a lot of times use hunting dogs. They use them in big groups. They go out in those lands. And knowing that, when they put the colored ribbons in the poodle's hair, you think it was just to be cute type of thing, and then you find out, like I found out, that the ribbons were actually used for identifying whose dog was whose. It's just amazing to me to think about how much stuff you probably see every day in a dog world, pet world, or in just any world, where you just assume, you assume based on, oh, it's cute, it's this, it's that. You don't even realize the level of history. So I learned this week from our groomers here at Boag, and I think this is just an amazing thing, because it really shows the difference in the dedication, like I said earlier. And I just look at this going, man, it's just blew my mind hearing all the different informational facts, in particular about the poodle. So, when you break that down, you have to look at where grooming comes into play. And like I said, the information kept coming. So one of the big things that they were talking to me about is about grooming is about maintenance. Okay. So maintenance is about overall health. Now we've talked about it before. We talked about how grooming is a vital part of building a relationship, a bond with your dog. And in particular, that you want to desensitize them to your grooming habits. So there's a few things that you want to look at as a training avenue. One is you want to get your dog used to getting their nails clipped, combed, bathtubs, water running on them, because you don't want them to look at that experience as a stressful thing. So you should always start practicing training your dog for grooming immediately, right? So if you have a new puppy, you really want to start getting them used to the positions and the grooming avenue if it's a dog that's going to be groomed to this. And if it's a dog that doesn't need to be groomed or brought to a groomer, you really need to get your dog used to being brushed daily, their nails trimmed. So you touch their paws every day, you put the nail clippers to them. Doesn't mean you need to clip the nails every day, but you do need to get them used to it. So that way it's not a stressful experience. It is vital that you desensitize your dog to this behavior. So then that way they allow you to take care of them and keep them in good, happy health. Okay. When it comes into grooming, like if you have a dog that needs to go to grooming, such as a poodle, a Maltese, and so on and so forth, you really want to make sure that you're getting your puppy to the groomer and building the relationship with them, getting to know each other, because you want them to enjoy the experience at the grooming. It's almost like you going to the hair salon or the barber shop. You enjoy it because you have a conversation. You might get a shampoo. You might get these things where they're massaging your head. You want your dog to have the same level of experience. So, bringing your puppy there, getting them started right away really does get them used to it. Each breed is different, so you can always reach out to the groomers and help establish a good foundation at the beginning too. So if you're not somebody, or if you're somebody that's looking for a new groomer, you can reach out to us. Please feel free to give us a call, 1-800-266-2365. Our groomers can get on the phone with you, give you some helpful tips. And it's a good way of getting like I said, it's establishing what you need for your dog. What are the minimums, maximums, distance of how long you should switch your appointments out. These are crucial things. Okay. So your groomers oftentimes is your first events. And this is a big one in preventing and also identifying skin, ear, and eye conditions. Okay. Think about this. Your groomer, who you're going to be going to multiple times a year, are the ones cutting the dog's hair. They're going through them. They're giving them baths. They're literally giving them, I like to say, like a mechanic's one-over. They're literally doing a full body inspection of your dog every time they hit the grooming table. Okay. So when you think about it, your dog is being completely checked from nose to tip of tail every time you go to the groomer. So that means if there is a growth, hernias, bugs, ticks, skin diseases, eye infections, ear infections, your groomer is the one that's going to catch it right away. They're literally going to see it right away. And it's because they're not with them all the time. So they're giving them a complete overhaul inspection. Then obviously they're checking them out. They're able to tell you and communicate to you if your dog needs to go to the veterinarian to get care. This is a really good thing to think about when going to your groomer on a regular basis. So being consistent. Now, here's the thing, is being consistent and maintaining the relationship with the same groomer throughout your dog's life is important because of this. All right. This establishes a relationship with them. They get to know your pet, and they can easily see any changes that occur. So that's why it's sort of vital to stick with your groomers or develop the relationship, because you really want them to make sure that they're having a good relationship and they know your dog. Bumper to bumper preventative maintenance check. That's it, Trish. You got it. So you think about that, for example, and you if you're always looking or jumping around for different groomers just to get the dog's hair cut or shaved down, they don't really know your dog. They're not going to see these things. So it's good to reach out to groomers. Like I said, get to know them. They'll always take the time to talk to you, and get to see that they're involved in the actual grooming. Do they know the history of it? What do they know about it? Ask them details about your dog, your dog's breed, or anything special that you should be aware of, right? Give your groomer, like anything else. I tell people all the time, if you have to have a good relationship with them, because you have to be able to trust, and get the information, because again, as we just said, the bumper to bumper inspection, they are the ones that are going to be able to see this in your dog, and you want them to know your dog. And believe me when I tell you this, the groomers here, they know their dogs. They know every dog that comes in here. They know every owner. They know every detail. They know every habit. They know every weak treat to strong treat to everything with these dogs. It is absolutely amazing to see this. I know I spent only a few hours a day wandering around, listening to them, talking to them, and getting this information. It was mind blowing to see how detail oriented they are to each dog, each client, giving them all literally presidential treatment. It was amazing to see that. Okay, so when your dog is getting groomed, this is probably an important thing, because I guess this is a big question that comes up a lot. As they said, how often should your dog get groomed? So when your dog gets groomed, it should be every 6 to 12 weeks. Okay, that way you make it an enjoyable adventure. Fun and healthy experience for a dog to be groomed every 14 weeks or longer. It makes it more stressed and they don't like it. So you really don't want to push past a 12-week period, because then your dog, I mean, that goes even in training in general. You want to stay in that range, because you don't want the dog to forget the grooming experience. That's what makes it hard, because they're not being desensitized to the table. They're not doing those things. So even getting your nails clipped at the different groomers probably would be even another bonus. So if your dog is a grooming dog, and obviously you don't need to get them fully groomed every couple of weeks, but you could probably get their nails clipped. The more you get them on the table, the more you get them to the groomer to get desensitized to the environment, to the table, to everything that's happening, is a really good idea. And the reason for that is because it makes the experience more enjoyable. It's more controlled. It gets you bonding time, because you're getting to drive your dog everywhere and go places with them. You're getting them used to the commute, which is getting them desensitized to cars. So now you're able to take them more trips, more vacations, be able to do more things with them. So this is a really good way of doing stuff to get your dog, again, desensitized and used to it, and stress relief. Because like anything else, I mean, if you take your kids, whoever has kids that's watching this, they probably know that their kids don't really enjoy getting their hair cut. It's as if almost their hair hurts when they get it cut. And we all know that it doesn't, but they just don't like it. They don't find it enjoyable. Then when you become an adult, because you've been doing it for so long, you look forward to getting your hair cut. It's almost where you almost want to get you'll pay the extra just to get the shampooing. Meanwhile, you just got out of the shower before you walked in there. It's a great experience, because you made it enjoyable. You got used to it. You got desensitized to it. You started to enjoy it. You started to change it. Well, it goes the same with your dog. All right. So this is kind of things that you really want to pay attention to when you think about what you're doing with them. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching the show, you can throw comments up or questions in the comments live on Facebook right now, and I can reply to you or talk to you about it. So if you're wondering anything, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a grooming expert. So don't ask me a direct question about grooming, but maybe you can ask a question about something I learned this week. Maybe we can discuss it. Like I said, I don't want to speak out of context, and that's probably one of the things that what separates me from most, is that if I don't know, I don't know, and I'm not going to go on it. But I did learn some real good information this week, like I said, about grooming, and I'm sharing it with you guys now. So if you do have some questions or thoughts or anything like that, please feel free to go ahead and ask them, as we have 10 more minutes of the show. So it'd be a great opportunity to go ahead, discuss that with me. But again, I know for me, just learning this stuff this week was probably the most mind-blowing thing in the world. The other neat thing is the Dremel nail clippers, and dogs getting used to that kind of stuff. So that's that's another big question that a lot of people are always asking is, should you use, they have those, I forget, what is that cheap one they sell online? Oh man, that grinder. It's like a battery operated grinder thing. What is it? is it? Yeah, Pet Safe. So Pet Safe Grinders, one of these big brands, I guess that's on. I'm assuming the I don't know, late night show. I guess I don't know. It's like an infomercial. It's an as seen on TV pet grinder, and now I've heard Paw Perfect. Is that the brand? Yeah. Okay. So it's called Paw Perfect, as seen on TV. Don't buy it. It's I'm going to tell you right now. They're not doing anything for my show here, nor am I asking them to sponsor my show. So what I'm going to tell you right now is that we've heard nothing but complaints about it. And the reason why is that even with the guard and things like that, you're going to find that it's very difficult to get the right thing. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do my best to get one of my groomers to get on my show here and teach on proper nail clipping, because of the fact that I know this is something that a lot of people are doing at home, and they do it wrong, or they mess it up a little bit because of the fact that they don't know where to clip the nail. They're afraid of cutting it too short and making your dog bleed or hurt. So that was one of the things. But when we think of grinders, the best ones to go get is probably something from Lowe's or Home Depot, and you use I think it's the sandpaper adapter. Very easy peasy thing to do. And like I said, I'm not going to give the instructions tonight on the show, but we're going to get one of the groomers. We're going to put something together, and maybe I'll release a small clip video how to on our BLK9 TV with one of the groomers this week or next week, so to help people at home. So let me check out some of the comments that we have here. So Megan Marie, our Teddy is there training. We pick him up Friday. He's the day. Yeah. So just to let you guys know, Melanie is with me. She is our manager here of training and kennel staffing at the Boag Pet Resort, and she's over here giggling and also helping me in the back with the show here tonight. And so Megan, we have he's got the mohawk, right? No, that's Rolo. Okay.
He was fluffy and I was naked.
So Megan, you're gonna love the new haircut that he's got. He's been doing really good. So Melanie's right when I said your name, she just started smiling and giggling. So you're gonna like that one. Let's see. It's a hard pass for Odin with the grinder. Yeah, seen on TV. Like can you tell? Yeah, that's it. We had with the COVID. I wish I learned to clip nails before now. It's hard to do it all. Pause at one time. So yeah, that's a big thing. I guess everybody comes across is with the nail clipping, is that it's a very difficult thing. There's so many different little secrets. I know for me, I used to have dogs that wouldn't let me do it, so I'd walk them up and down sidewalks. So the sidewalk itself would essentially sand down the dog's toenails. I don't really push that on too many people because, again, it's not really doing the right job. You really should take the moment. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to put together a video this week and release it on our BLK9 TV on how to properly clip your dog's nails and grind them down, and give you a little bit of a shout out of what tools are good. I know the brand that we use in our grooming room is Dremel. So if you guys are looking to get one for a grinder, Dremel is the one that we use. It's a battery operated. I believe it's rechargeable. Yeah, it's cordless rechargeable one. They do sell ones that are cords and stuff like that. The ones that have cords, I found to be a little bit louder, and dogs didn't like them. The battery operated seems to be a little bit quieter, and the dogs are not as stressed out with the noise. So this is something to consider if you're going that route. With nail clipping, it's a little bit more difficult. They have a lot of different clippers out there, so I don't really want to recommend a brand outside of the ones because, again, everybody here has one of their own favorites, so I don't really want to speak out of tongue when it comes down to those clippers, again, because I'm not a groomer, not an expert in this field, so I don't really want to speak out of tongue there. But we're going to put that video together for you guys. It's going to be a great thing. I want to say thank you for everybody listening tonight. Again, another shout out to Nicole Krause for sending us the M&Ms. We're going to really chow down on them today. It was a great gift. I just wanted to make sure everybody got to see it live tonight on Facebook and later on BLK9 TV. The M&Ms with Blue Line Canine written on them. That's a very special gift to us here at Blue Line Canine, obviously. And guys, listen, it's a really neat thing to learn. So if you guys have dogs that need grooming, if your dog needs nail clipping, what you really want to do is create that ritual and get them used to it. So again, everything comes back down to a training point. Getting your dogs desensitized, used to it, building those habits and structure for your dogs so they understand and look forward to something great. This is what you want to look for. Next week, we'll have another good topic. I did get a chance to get to Home Depot and start looking at different items to help you guys out, as we discussed last week with the scent, teaching the scent stuff. So I'm going to be trying to figure out a way to put together a little video for you guys on building easy stuff at home to work with, to teach odors and fun activities at home. Downside is Home Depot did not have all of the items that we needed to do this, because I really want to show you a ton of different options. So between PVC piping, pop boxes, Rubbermaid Ziploc containers, and so on and so forth. So we're going to get you guys out there. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, if you're looking for some groomers, if you are considering getting a new groomer, or you are looking for a groomer, please feel free to reach out here at the Bowag Pet Resort. You can check us out at blueline-k-9.com. Give us a call at 1-800-266-2365. Always please subscribe to our YouTube channel at blk9tv.com. Literally, you just type in the URL blk9tv.com. So subscribe to our show. We have 2 shows that go on it every week. One is this one tonight, Dog Talk, and our Stuck in the Truck, which is a business coaching. We've had some great interviews in the past few weeks about building your podcast, as well as writing your own book. So this is a great opportunity if you guys are getting into business, learning, or taking the next step in your life. It's a great little show. It's every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. It's then goes relaunched on blk9tv.com, as well as all of our iTunes, Spotify, and so on and so forth, all the different platforms on the podcast by Friday of every week. So this is a really cool thing that we've been doing. And again, I do this stuff because you guys motivate me so much, and I can't help myself but share the information I've learned. Blue Line K9 has been a great team that's been building up for the past 15 years. We're going into, can you believe it, everybody? We were going into 15 years since we were born in 2007. So this is going to be a really exciting 2021 for us, because we were going to be celebrating 15 years in business. And with that being said, we're going to be coming up with memberships. So we're going to have yearly memberships. We have the Canine Country Club starting now, which is a great opportunity at all of our locations. The Canine Country Club is a great way to get your dog dropped off during the day while you guys are at work, school, or if you're just busy and you need your dogs to get mental and physical activities. So that way your dog is not just getting one or the other. We balance them out with one-on-one direct care from one of our training staff. So this is a great opportunity for you guys. And that is going to be on sale until the 31st of December. So if you guys are interested, please reach out again, check it out. With that being said, if I'm going to make sure we don't have any questions in the comment section here, it says, can you also show a clip on the nails? My dog is scared of the Dremel. Yes, we will. When I'm going to get with my groomer this week, and we're going to try to shoot together that video, put it together. Again, what we'll do is, if you just follow us, if you get on blk9tv.com, it'll bring you right to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, so then that way when we post the video, you would get the notification. So you want to hit subscribe, and as always, hit the notification button, so that way when we add the videos, you will be notified and you'll be able to see it. We will get that video up by the end of next week. That's I'm just giving myself a little bit of time with the holiday season coming in. So if you guys do want to see anything or question anything, please feel free to send me a message. You can throw the comments again in the videos, or you can email me at msolar@bluelinek-9.com. I'm always interested in what you guys want to know or learn. I will gladly put it together and put it on this show, because, like I said, I'm here to help you. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week if I don't see you tomorrow.